What's up? Welcome. Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you went out of town?
All right.
Where'd you go?
We went to Smoky Mountains, Tennessee. Good times.
See any bears?
We did some black bears. They're smaller than I imagined.
Yeah, they're not very big. We get this Hollywood sense of these gigantic monsters, but black bears are really kind of
Right.
small. Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that we saw were like mothers playing with their cubs. They had 2, 3 cubs.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
Cool.
Saw the leaves changed. Small
Yeah.
country town.
Sweet.
It's cool. What's up, What's up, everyone? What's up, Jesse?
Myself, I went back to Arizona, did a little family time on Turkey Day, and then got to get out and go spend some time out in nature, and had a really good time. So it was definitely a great time to recharge the batteries and kind of get my mind off of all of the rat race that is society, and just kind of recenter and refocus. So I hope you guys had a great time at your Turkey Day.
Yep.
Hope your family,
Safe.
everybody was together, everybody was safe. Hope you guys had some good food, because that's what it's all about, right?
It's all about the food.
I mean, I
So-
don't know. I guess so, right? That's what we celebrate.
Well, we were in a small town, and it was actually a touristy area, so we had to eat out. It wasn't the plan we never planned to cook.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we were planning on going out, but we didn't plan well enough. And so the place that we went to, it was a 5-hour wait.
Oh.
Right. So we were able to find something else, but it wasn't the place that we wanted to go to, But whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody minded.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone's doing well today. So we have this new special we wanted to announce. We're going to be doing this. We're calling this the Belly Buster sale, and we're trying to attract those individuals to get rid of these big bellies. So we figured out a way to get rid of that flap that hangs over those big bellies that are obtrusive and getting in the way. We figured out a way to get rid of them consistently, and so now we want to share that gift with the world. So we're offering 20% off the treatment of the front of the abdomen. It's got to be flipped. Is that possible?
It's possible.
Okay.
Anything is
So
possible.
first of all, you should probably go back to the genesis of why we decided to come
Right.
up with this, right? So, I don't know if you guys have paid attention to what's going on in the Lipo world. If you've ever tried to get a consultation at another, medical provider's office, basically there's a bunch of restrictions. They say you got to have a certain BMI, whatever that means. If you don't qualify because you're too big, they won't do it. Oftentimes they say, yeah, we can do it, but you need a tummy tuck. And there's a lot of, I guess the buzzword would be discrimination. That's what we're going to call it. This particular demographic gets turned down a lot. And they're probably the one that needs serving the most. They probably need the most help, because that's going to catapult them into a healthier lifestyle. And so we came up with this idea, for our Cyber Week special, whatever you want to call it. Let's attack these bellies.
Right. So
let's go
to
at
me,
it.
like what I've seen from our patients is that when you take away this belly and then you couple that with lifestyle changes, and all of a sudden it's like a whole new personality comes out of it. And a lot of the stuff that we've been able to experience with these patients is through social media. So I don't know how much or what degree this stuff is, but the appearance that these people are changing their lives and being more active and they're happier, it's gratifying.
Yeah, some of the comments that we've seen from the patients that have done the front of the stomach and then have come back to complete the 360, which is love handles, hips, and lower back. We spend quite amount of time speaking with them, and we discuss. Okay, so what's new? What type of reaction have you got? What have you changed? How has your life changed? How has your perception on life changed? And we get a lot of the same answers. A lot of them are like, oh my gosh. I love it that people recognize that I had something done, and they comment on how good I look.
Right.
And it just boosts my self-esteem.
Right.
Or, man, I love it how my clothes fit better, and I'm just feeling healthier, and I'm more motivated to go out and be active and improve other aspects of my life.
Right. I think that what I've seen a lot of, and we've seen so many of these women, and we get to speak with them about their stories and their issues. And the thing that I've really noticed is that when there's improvements that people are realizing afterwards that they didn't really think about. For like nobody really talks about the hygiene issues that you have when you have folded skin.
Sure.
And the people get sores like when the skin. Imagine like you have a paper and you fold it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's how you tear it, right? So the same thing happens with skin when you fold it back and forth, back and forth. Right at the fold, the skin gets irritated and gets it's almost like an ongoing wound. It's always there, and then it's covered by skin, and it keeps moisture in there, which is how bacteria forms and people get infections in these areas. Like, this is a big problem, and it smells, and it's irritating, and they get wound issues. It's a big problem, and if you have that issue, this is something that liposuction can solve, and nobody talks about that. Nobody says, everybody's talking about how it's going to look afterwards, but imagine if you have a sore, have issues with ongoing sores, and to be able to solve that problem with a procedure like this, it's magical, and it changes your life.
Yeah, so that's one of the aspects that it definitely will help. And you're right. A lot of these patients are diabetic. Okay, their health has been poor, their body's in a sick state, and you're right. They have problems healing themselves, and when they form that ulcer or sore or opening, it's hard for the body to take care of it. Another thing that I liked from one of our patients, I'm going to throw her name out there, Tricky Mickey. So Tricky Mickey is pretty open about her journey and what she goes through, and she loves to post a lot of different videos about her working out and her view on life, and I absolutely love it. It's super refreshing. Anyway, one of the things that Tricky Mickey talked about when I asked her why she decided to get lipo, we were doing the front of the abdomen first, is she said, I was like standing in line at the DMV, and I had to find something to hold me up because I could no longer hold my weight up for a prolonged amount of time.
Like to prop the belly on?
Yeah, well, not prop the belly on. She just said she was so big, right, that she had to brace herself up.
Right.
And I thought that was, that's something that most of us take for granted, right? And, now look at her. She's just absolutely killing it.
You know what I noticed? So in my personal journey, and so this is how I experienced it, and I lost about 50 pounds at one point. So I got to about 230. I wasn't huge, but I came down, and now I'm like 180. And in changing from that weight, I use it as an analogy of like carrying a backpack, like a 50-pound backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a hiker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you carry a 50-pound backpack, that's freaking heavy.
That's a heavy bag.
So imagine some of these people that are losing 100 pounds. It's like the strength that you have to carry that 100 pounds all the time. You're strong as hell,
Mm-hmm.
right? A lot of these women are so freaking strong, and then when you take it away, all of a sudden it's like you have superpowers because you've worked out so much, and you haven't even realized it.
Absolutely.
This is Tricky Mickey here.
That's Tricky Mickey, and she is looking amazing, and she's absolutely killing life. She's on the road, and she still finds time to get some workouts in and eat right and, jump on social media and keep us laughing. So if you want to get in touch with Tricky Mickey, get in touch with her through the support group. Join the support group, My Shape Lipo support group. And she's always posting like insightful things on there. This is her before, I guess her real transition.
Progress.
Yeah, so we've got on this side where she started, and then this is kind of a couple of weeks after. So she's absolutely killing it.
So real quick, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, look, if you guys have any friends that have these big bellies that are suffering through life, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it's the ones that cover up. It's they pull their pants up above, so they wear their pants in the middle of their abdomen here. These are the people that we can help because their belly's folded over, and they've been hiding it. And so I know people, so just gently guide them this direction, because this is a deal that can really change their life.
So gently, absolutely, but oftentimes what gets said amongst friends and not in the public is everybody talks about these issues, especially girls. I had this one client that I talked to. I followed up on her today, or we had this one client, and I followed up on her today, and I said, so how was Turkey Day? She was great. I went back home, and people kept looking at me and kept commenting how I looked different, and you could tell that she didn't want to converse with her family members about what she had done, the intervention, which I think is kind of a travesty, right? So take those ones that you love, the ones that are important to you, the ones that you want to, help and see them do well in life, and just mention it. Don't be afraid.
Yeah,
I mean, guys are horrible when it comes to this.
Right.
Guys don't say shit.
That's kind of like this pay it forward idea. Like you in telling them, you're helping them. So you're doing it from your heart. If you're doing it from your heart and you want to genuinely help the person, that's what we're talking about here. But you know, obviously, you know, don't send it to random people. That's not. I'm not looking for that, but make sure you're sharing. So quick questions here. This says, does it apply to past customers? Yeah, so we're talking about it's 20% off of the front of the abdomens. So if you if you're looking to treat the front of your abdomens, this is 20% off that. So if you can get other areas treated, but the discount only applies to the front of the abdomen. So really, we're trying to attract those individuals, specifically the larger ones that are trying to get rid of that front of that belly.
Yeah, we're trying to treat the demographic of people that are basically
Underserved.
too big to have that full abdominal 360 done at one time. The ones that are discriminated against by all of the other medical providers, the ones that say you need to be at a certain BMI. You're too big. You need to get healthier. We need to do a tummy tuck on you. That's who we're trying to treat.
Right.
Okay, because they're the ones in life that are absolutely that need it the most.
See, in my eyes, it's like we're saving them, because like literally just this last week we had, I think, 2 patients that had gotten a tummy tuck and now had to come get liposuction because their shape was just they were boxy, and and both of them were disappointed that they didn't find us sooner. And in my eyes, if we can attract these people in here, we can save them from the other things.
Sure.
And hopefully give them a better outcome.
I wish we had better photos, side views of this one, because this one was amazing as well.
Yeah.
She is super busy. She's in a post-grad program right now. She's in the medical field, and oftentimes it's tough to connect with her and get her to send us in some photos. But this was pretty pronounced. If you actually saw this in life, you'd see how flat this was,
Yeah.
and you can see how how much surface area we actually took out. It was great.
So Rebecca says as her comment that she loves how she doesn't have to spend a half hour trying to find out an outfit that fits. She can just throw on anything and feel good now. And these are again one of the things that you just notice afterwards. And this is not, most people don't think, hey, I'm gonna go get liposuction so I can pick out an outfit quicker, or go to the store and just buy something off the rack, or not have to buy the spandex to pull over the fat. This is not what people get liposuction for. They don't think about that, and so that's why it's important that we need to discuss these things, because it's the things that's really the value. That's really the important thing that you're getting from this stuff is the everyday convenience of your life. That belly, that big mound in front of you, is out of the way. I had a patient once that she's like, now where am I going to put my cereal? Because she would sit and put her cereal on her belly, and now the belly's gone. So look, it'll change your life in so many ways that I want to get more people with this procedure, because the stories are going to be incredible.
Yeah, and we're kind of like one of the only places that's doing this.
Right.
This is something that we feel very passionate about. We feel like, I don't know, whenever you come in and you become one of our clients, one of our patients, we create this connection, we create this bond, and we're worried about how mentally this whole thing goes through for you, and we want to see the positivity on the end. So we try and keep tabs on you. We reach out, and we make sure that you're able to to see some real change. And that's what it's all about.
So let's see. Do you recommend lipo after gastric sleeve surgery, or just get skin removal? That's going to be a case by case basis. We've definitely done liposuction on people who have had gastric sleeve. So it kind of depends on where you are on your journey and what makes sense. And obviously this is going to be a personal choice for you. And there's going to be pros and cons to both. With the liposuction, when you lose a dramatic amount of weight, like say at 100 pounds, the skin just has this, it lost its elasticity. So even though we remove the fat, you still have skin issues. So in those situations, it may make sense to you, and it just depends on what your expectations, what you're looking to get, but it may make sense to you to get the skin cut away. But it may be a combination of both liposuction and skin removal, and again, I just don't know with your situation. Rebecca says, no more fupa chafing.
It took me a long time to figure out what that acronym actually meant.
Fupa.
Mm-hmm.
Do you accept insurances? Frida Robinson. If you had an insurance that would pay for liposuction, that would be awesome. And you would be like a unicorn. So, Yeah, so we don't accept insurance, but if your insurance covers it, what can happen is like you would pay for it, then they would reimburse you. So that's typically the way this stuff works, since we don't bill the insurance companies. So Reina, so if you have not placed your deposit yet, that's where it would apply. So we have been actively trying to get a hold of the recent individuals who we did consultations for and gave quotes. So if you are one of those individuals and you're ready to move forward, call the office and we can get things taken care of and get those numbers worked out for you.
Alejandro Reynoso Flores dice, hola, ¿qué precio tiene una Lipo 360? Bueno, Alejandro, lo que tenemos que hacer es enviarnos sus fotos para que podamos revisar lo que tienes, porque cada cuerpo es diferente y ninguna persona tiene lo mismo precio a lo otro, porque es cada caso, ¿no? Porque quizás su cuerpo está más grande que lo otro, entonces tenemos que analizar cada uno solo, okay?
What's up, Heidi?
So that was basically, Trevor, this Hispanic lady is asking what price do we have for a Lipo 360, which is super interesting, and I want to kind of bring that up because I'm part of a couple of other liposuction groups that are nationwide, and a lot of the discourse recently was, oh my gosh, what's the Black Friday special, or what's the Cyber Monday special? Is anybody doing this procedure, this abdominal 360 for $3,000? And the initial thought that came to my head is, man, if there's like ever a definition of a surgical mill where they're just like running people through and they absolutely don't care, it would be this one for $3,000 if there is one, or $4,000. I think I heard
Mexico. They do that in Mexico and Colombia, like $3-4 for liposuction, like full body with fat transfer.
Yeah, it's crazy to me because I mean, bottom line is like, do they take all of the necessary precautions? Do they worry about your health? I mean, I don't know. Are they just trying to run you through and just trying to capitalize on the big numbers? That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
So there's not just one price, is what I told her.
Mm-hmm.
Every body system is different. Everybody looks different. And so send your photos in and we'll be able to take a look at it, and we'll do it on a case-by-case basis.
Right. Jackie says, damn it, I already had that procedure.
I know. Listen, hey, so I guess we should probably, extend an apology to all of our previous clients that we did not come up with this, previously. We're doing it now just because we see that there's such a need, and we've done such a good job with getting these patients in and having their results be just absolutely life-changing. And so we decided, 'tis the season. It's all about Thanksgiving, right?
Jackie.
And Christmas and giving back whenever we can. And so like we're doing it now. This is the holiday season. If you can get your consultation and put down your deposit and get this procedure done in the next couple of months, let's do it.
Yep. Jackie, I hope that you, along with all the other girls who have gotten this procedure in this recent year, or further back, obviously, but I hope that you can be the advocates for these individuals and the mentors to help walk these women through the whole process, because that it's not easy, and it takes a family, right? So that's what we've created with the group. So if you haven't joined the private Facebook group yet, make sure you go over to Facebook and search for My Shape Lipo Support Group and get on there.
Diamond SCC1, yes, need to get my belly gone. Absolutely, now's the time. Come on in and let's take care of that for you.
So Reina, you said about will the lipo on the front of the abdomen give the hourglass shape? So that's obviously going to be kind of dependent on the individual. I mean, you see Jackie's picture up here, and she had, she had a lot of, it kind of depends on the way that you carry your fat, but if you carry your fat on the front, then you have width on the front. When we take that down, it'll make it look more narrow. So it just kind of depends on the shape of your body and where you're carrying the fat, and how we make a difference. I have definitely seen pictures. Do you have that picture with the bikini?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
This was a larger individual that had that front of the belly hanging, and when we took it away, it gave the illusion that she had an hourglass figure. Now, we haven't treated the sides yet on her, so that just kind of, I guess, would give you the potential that now imagine if we take down the sides and create more of an hourglass figure, and so all of a sudden this larger individual that came into us looking a certain way can now walk out and, you know, a few months later, a couple procedures later, and have a huge, dramatic, you know, life-changing results that will last the rest of her life if she, you know, puts the work in and does the right things.
Also, I want to highlight this photo right here. So this is 7 weeks post-op. 7 weeks post-op. And as you can tell, listen, this is her photos. These are her photos. She posted them into our group. We pulled them off our site, so we didn't edit these at all. And bottom line is, you can notice how low her bikini line is, and you can see that there was no tummy tuck done. So that's who we're looking for. We're looking for the people that don't want to have a tummy tuck, that can get some amazing results without a tummy tuck, and we believe that's the majority of people out there.
So this to me is like, this is the holy grail. If we can recreate these results, I think that we are going to change a lot of people's lives. So this is our goal. This is our intentions. This is what we're trying to do for individuals like this. And this is, again, it's no tummy tuck. So this is, I think, going to give you an opportunity to really change your life. But ultimately, it's up to you. You have to change.
Yeah. So another interesting thing about some of those other groups, you know, I hear these girls talking about, oh yeah, I got my procedure and I'm still drinking and I'm still smoking and I'm living life large. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you are just absolutely blowing your opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you had this magical intervention, you know, they took off a significant amount of weight and you're just going to go ahead and piss it away or, you know, return to what you were doing before. I mean, to me, I don't get it.
Yeah.
So we're not looking for those individuals. We're
Right.
looking for ones that are wanting to change right now.
And we, you know, we're not trying to like judge those people and say that's wrong. That just is what it is. That's just the people that we don't want to work with. The ones that are not dedicated to themselves, the ones that are not going to take responsibility. Just go somewhere else. You know, this just isn't right for you. But the people that are willing to change their life, this is where we're going to get the massive transformations and the awesome stories. And I just want to be part of a lot of people's success stories. You know, so I want to find the right individuals that are ready to make that big change. And when they're ready, we just kind of push them along. Like, here's a little push, kick in the pants.
So this was her 1 week op, just so you know, 1 week op. And it's a little darker right through here, just because whenever we take out a significant amount of fat, that skin kind of comes together, and those melanocytes, the pigment that makes your skin dark, they're concentrated in that skin, and it's going to even out. So it doesn't look super normal and natural right now because it's dark, but it will even up over time.
Says, how do you do out-of-town people get appointments as far as follow-ups and pre-visits? So first of all, we do our consultations virtually, so those are done with pictures. And if you're ready to get a consultation or you want to take advantage of the special, you have to do the expedited consultation, which is $100. And you're going to click up on the link up in the post here on Facebook, on Instagram. They should be up in our profile or on the website. And so you need to get the consultation first, and that's done virtually, so you don't need to come to us. Then once you're ready to move forward, you can schedule the procedure, and you would want to come out here 24 hours prior to the procedure and stay for at least 48 hours afterwards for recovery. And we also do a post-op visit while you're in town before you leave. And then all the rest of the follow-up was done through phone and email. And you're going to get my number or Kale's number personally, so you'll be able to contact somebody at 24/7.
Yeah. So Shawnee Renee says, how long is the 20% off for? Well, it's you have to put down your deposit and have your procedure done before the end of January.
So the deposit's before the end of the year. So the 31st, you have to place a deposit, then have the procedure in January.
So
you got some time.
deposit by the end of December, and then procedure's got to be done by the 31st of January. So we're trying to get people motivated to actually get going on it.
So Heidi, I saw Heidi made a comment. Heidi, first of all, she's on YouTube and on Facebook, so that's pretty.
Is that Heidi Shimada?
Yeah, from Hawaii.
Oh my gosh, her results look amazing.
So she just posted today that she went to her lymphatic masseuse, and her lymphatic masseuse was like blown away with the results and said that, you know, nobody in Hawaii is getting results like that. So I thought that was a pretty good compliment, right?
That's pretty cool.
Okay, Janeth Rose asked where we're located. We're in the Las Vegas area. Short flight from anywhere. It's so easy to fly to Vegas from the East Coast. I was just in Tennessee, and it was just an easy flight, and with a time change, it's like no time even passes. You can.
Yeah. Plus, whenever you come out here, it's warmer. So you know, like today, I was wearing a T-shirt out and about. It was great.
Yeah, as far as the follow-up stuff, I mean, we're here for you, whatever you need. So everybody needs a little bit different. Some people don't need anything at all, and everything's really smooth, and that's great. But we're here, we're available if you do need us, and that's the important thing.
So Diamond SCC1 is, again, every body system is different. We don't have just one set price. So you're gonna have to send in your photos and we'll take a look at them. Either Trevor will look at them or I'll look at them, and we'll decide what you're gonna need and how much work it's gonna take us. I find it absolutely mind-boggling that these mills say, oh yeah, abdominal 360, you just come in and just like whatever body style comes in and body type. I mean, some of these are a lot of work and they take some time and they take some effort, and that's why we work together to get as many done as we can safely, just because they are so much work.
Okay, quiero una consulta.
Ok,
So the job.
Magale Benítez dice, ¿quieres una consulta? Bueno, tienes que fijarse en nuestra página de web. Hay algunos links allá donde se puede enviarnos sus fotos. Can you post the jot form?
So in Facebook, it's up in the post.
So acá en la página de Facebook donde estamos haciendo ese video hay un post donde se puede entrar su información y recibir una consulta, ¿ok?
So this is a male too. So those of you who have husbands that you want to get rid of their belly, this is an example of a man who came in for liposuction. And with this lighting, I know on, let's see, it's
you can see it really good on Facebook. You can't see it on Instagram or YouTube, but
Try clicking on Instagram.
I know, I'm trying. It's not doing the where the camera adjusts. But,
interesting.
ooh, you can zoom. That's interesting.
Oh, there you go. You zoom in. Oh yeah, you can there. Oh,
Look at that.
hold on.
You can't see us anymore.
Your phone.
Tricky
Yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, let me see if I can just like pan this just a little bit.
Like
There we go.
old guys that are just using technology for the first time.
All right. So you guys can see that this is, maybe this is your man. Maybe this is, this is the dad bod, obviously, that everybody talks about. Usually catches up with everybody right around the late 30s into the 40s. If you know a guy like this,
Man, that's
sheesh,
awesome, right?
get him healthy. Send him to us and we'll take care of it. And, treat the front of the abdomen and look how that line in the inguinal fold just goes away.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
And that's
right?
that's what we're trying to get rid of on all of these patients is that fold. And so when we talk about the front of the abdomen, we're going wide enough to get rid of the entire fold. So that's really the goal that we're going after. So you'll notice on these patients, and the ones that you see from the front, obviously it's harder to see the fold, but that's our goal, is to get rid of the fold. And the techniques that we developed are specifically to break through the connective tissue that caused the fold. And so there's certain things that we do that have been successful in getting these consistent results where that fold it's amazing how it just goes away. It's the impossible that the other doctors talk about. If you've gone to a plastic surgeon, they told you have to do a tummy tuck. These are the people that we want to talk to, because this is just an option for you.
Bueno, Jane, yo sé que cuando se fija una fecha para una consulta puede ser bien lejos. Si quieres tener uno y estás muy en serio y quieres avanzar más adelante y ir al frente de la línea, se puede usar ese link donde hacemos la $100 consultation, lo cual se paga $100 para la consultación, y cuando se fija su cirugía, esos $100 se va al costo total a su cirugía. Entonces es una manera tener una consulta más rápido, ¿ok?
Good job. And I was going to say that people might be interested in knowing how you know Spanish.
Oh, I don't know if I know Spanish very well. I'm 100% gringo, but I spent some time I spent some time in Peru. I was down there for like 8 months, and at one point, the Europeans. There were several groups of Europeans that came down and went to South America, and so inside of Peru, there's this little area. It's called Chiclayo, and there's a bunch of Peruvians that are kind of European descent, and so I felt like I was super confident, and I had such a good accent at that time that I would tell people I was from Cajamarca, and I would tell people, yeah, I'm Peruvian, I'm from Cajamarca, and they totally believed me. So, but yeah, when you don't use it every day, it kind of goes away, and when you start thinking in English completely, it's tough. So, bear with me. I appreciate all of the love, but yeah, I'm
Spanish,
winging
man,
it
that's
here.
good. You're doing a good job. Okay, what happens if the person has the IBM high? Huh. Is that like the stock price or?
Right.
So maybe she was talking about BMI. That's no
BMI, yeah.
IBM. Or am I reading that dyslexic or something?
I think so. Mira, bueno, yo quiero hablar en cuanto a eso. Si quieres, recibir ese 20% descuento, llama a nuestra oficina y decirles que estás en serio y quieres hacerlo. Entonces podemos hacer su cita más temprano para fijar entre esos días y puede pagar su dinero y puede tener un horario en enero para tener la cirugía. Okay? So I just said it, because there's a couple of comments that are saying, hey, we're scheduling, but the consultation date is
right.
for.
It's the paid one. You got to do the paid one.
Hágalo
Expedited.
Right.
You know
de $100 y eso puede, ponerse en el frente de la línea.
Yeah, it looks like everybody else figured out that it wasn't IBM, BMI, and noted that we don't look at BMIs, and look, we're targeting, like we're trying to help those individuals that have the high BMI. So that if this is you, you have that flap hanging over, those are the people that we want to help. So you typically those people that are talking about the high BMI, you've been turned away elsewhere. And those are the ones that our doors are wide open for you.
That's the ones we're trying to focus in on, because they're the ones that are getting discriminated against. I mean, listen, bottom line is, when you go to a lot of these other places, you're not even working with the surgeon. What you're doing is you're working with a surgical coordinator, and the surgeon said, okay, these are my minimum guidelines, this is what I want to do, and the surgical coordinator is the one that kind of puts a lot of people through the runaround, and they say, oh yeah, put your deposit down, let's get a date set, and then a couple of weeks later they'll be like, oh, well, the surgeon looked at your file and you got to lose 20 pounds by the time your surgery date is in like 3 weeks. And so, and if you don't, then you lose your deposit. And so we've heard all of these horror stories, and we're just here to tell you that, listen, when you are one of our patients, we really care about your whole experience. And so we're not going to screw you. We're not going to take advantage of you. When we tell you what the price is, and we tell you what day it is, and we tell you that we're going to do it, that's what's going to happen. We take pride in being, very prompt and following through with what we do. And so, listen, it is when you're ready and you're absolutely animated to go ahead and change your life, give us a call, because we'll get it done.
Right. Heidi says, I tell people that I trust my shape because they have so many photos of larger patients, and that she said she didn't want to waste her money on someone who didn't know how to treat high BMI patients. So that's a big thing. And this is also why we're kind of trying to attract these individuals, is that I don't think there's anybody else that's serving this population the way that we are at this point. And so I need the help of those individuals who have benefited from these services. I need you to just be like a megaphone and let people know that this was your experience, and this is where is paying it forward. If you had the experience that you had the benefits that you had in your life, share it with your friends, share it with your family. And this is the opportunity. We're offering 20% off. You didn't get the 20% off. This is an opportunity for you to share that with your family and for them to get a discount. In the holidays, pay it forward.
Ahorita es a tiempo. Hey, Granville, do you happen to have Naomi's pictures? Naomi, Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yes.
Okay, so listen, you guys want to see some amazing stuff. Did you get that picture of her in the blue dress? like the start of her journey before we did anything on her, when
I don't
she
think
decided
so.
that she was going to change her life and she was going to make it better.
But you know what? She's on the
group.
so I'm gonna go there right now and get
Okay.
some.
Yeah. Jump on the group and
Yeah.
you can see Naomi's pictures. And, she had this post just a couple of weeks ago and it showed her entire transformation. Now, when she took this picture, she took several pictures on her Facebook page where I got one that I can remember where she's in a lawn chair, just lounging with probably at a family like get together. And, she doesn't look healthy. I got this other one where she's got kind of like a side profile view. She's in this flowery blue dress. And then she posts these transformation pictures. We did brow rolls and arms, the first procedure. And then we went ahead and did all the way around the midsection. She had already been like doing her part and working out and losing a significant amount of weight. So we were able to get that for her in one procedure. But it was just like her transformation is probably one of the most amazing that I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's a cool story.
Yeah, it really is. And she was very vulnerable, and she wrote a couple of posts inside the group, talked about some of the personal tribulations that she's been through, and it was really kind of heart-wrenching to know that people go through that, as human beings. And so, kudos to her. She's done everything that she needs to do to kind of set herself off in this positive, light and this positive road. So I hope she has a lot of success in the future.
And that's the example. The person running with the torch at the beginning of the marathon. That's the person that these individuals that are curious say, I got this problem too, and I don't know what to do about it. And these are the individuals that are lighting the path for you. You're trampling down the grass in front of you and creating this path. So the path has already been created for you. All you have to do is walk through it, and these people are there to help you. And so it's really an amazing situation right now. The results have been very, very consistent, and we have lots of people that have already been down this path. So we want to share it with as many people as possible because I just want to create more stories. A lot of these people, we don't even necessarily know their stories. There's some of them that we know more of the stories, but I want to know all their stories. I want to create these amazing transformative situations where it's inspiring, right? It inspires me. It inspires me to keep going, keep doing this stuff, keep helping more people. And if you can, if we can have successes with individuals, then it's about turning back and seeing those people that were right where you were just a few months ago.
So with that, on the Facebook feed, Stacy says she's coming back for her 4th procedure. So, if you guys really want to know what it's like, understand all of the intricacies, understand what this can do for you in your own personal life, jump on our Facebook group, in the support group, reach out to Stacy and talk to her personally. I'm sure she'll give you her phone number. You guys can call and probably have like a discussion with her. And I bet she will be absolutely candid about why she's done it so many times, what it's done for her life, the types of changes that have shown up, and why she would tell everybody that this is a good thing.
Right. So Octavia says, how soon after I get the first procedure can I go back for the second? Our generic answer for that is 30 days. However, this is an individual situation, so you need to see how you're doing at that time. And we can schedule and plan ahead of time. But if you're not recovering as expected, or you're in more discomfort, or whatever the case that you're dealing with, we can always push things back. But the minimum would be 30 days.
Okay, Jane again says, she asked, do we really look at the photos? Sí. Cuando nos envía sus fotos, miramos a todos los fotos personalmente para que podamos saber lo que usted quiere y también lo que podemos hacer en la cirugía, ¿ok? Y tenemos que pensar en lo que es más saludable, la cantidad que necesitamos hacer y si podemos hacerlo, ¿ok? Entonces, eso sería yo y Trevor trabajando juntos y para revisar todo, y vamos a trabajar juntos en su cirugía, y todo sería, lo que queremos bien, lo que creemos de nuestro corazón es bien, ¿ok?
So Yenmi says, if I get the 360 lipo, will I require a second or a third procedure? And Yenmi, that's obviously a situation that we have to determine for you in particular. Some of these larger individuals do require 2 procedures to do the full 360. So, and those are actually the individuals that we're trying to attract with this promotion here. and we're only, the 20% is for the front of the abdomen. So these are individuals who would split the procedure up and do the front of the abdomen first and take away that whole front of the abdomen, and then come back and do the sides and the lower back to complete the 360. And clearly, individuals who have that big belly, they have other issues as well, whether it's the upper body, the arms, the chin, the upper back, or maybe you're going down and doing the thighs. These are other areas that you may choose to treat, but it's all up to you. But we want to definitely encourage the healthy lifestyle afterwards, and that's when you're going to get the results like this, when you start working out and when you start taking care of yourself. You look healthy. And when you start acting healthy, you start looking healthy.
So Style by Carla 44 says, is your anesthesia better? I'm not sure where she's going with that. We do the technique that was made popular by a dermatologist. His name was Dr. Klein, and we use all of the steps and the recommendations that is socially acceptable or medically accepted by the medical field to do this procedure. And listen, I don't know what type of question you're asking, but I will tell you this: we've had patients we do live procedures. Was up here. We do live procedures and had no problems. Mm-hmm. We've done patients where they don't even put a frown on their face, and then we've had the other end of the spectrum where they thought it was uncomfortable. And when we have those types of patients that thinks it's uncomfortable, we work with them. We inject more medication. We make sure that we address how they're feeling. We change areas, we change locations, and we do everything we can to make sure that we can maximize the results that you're looking for and get you through the entire procedure so that you can have everything that you're looking for in an experience with us.
Yeah. So, I think it's the people that are worried about discomfort, and you hear one person that says it was uncomfortable, then you make assumptions that everybody has that experience, and that's just not the case. So the individuals that will focus and have that belief, then there's nothing that anybody's going to do to change your mind. You're driven by the fear. But the truth is that not every patient struggles like that. And people are able to get through this procedure. The recovery is not that bad. There's plenty of people that are saying it's totally worth it, and they're so happy that they did it. And those may be the same people that didn't tolerate things as well for the procedure. So it's worth it regardless. These are the techniques that are instituted as standard across the industry, and this is what we do. If you don't want to do this under local anesthesia, you don't have to. Plastic surgeons still do it the old way under general anesthesia. It's not as safe. There's many more complications, but it is an option. So if your fear is so much that you can't get over it, then going to sleep, because it's not just going to sleep. They're stopping your breathing. You stop breathing literally, and they put a tube down your throat. So the potential for problems to happen, it's great.
And oftentimes you have to stay over,
right.
and be observed and make sure that the anesthesia wears off appropriately, and make sure that you're urinating well. So the risk goes up with general anesthesia. So
there's
it's up to you.
Pros and cons to everything, and you as the patient need to make the decisions that are right for yourself. And this is just this is one option. You don't have to do it this way, but it is one option. And our patients, despite whatever you may feel during the procedure, afterwards they're able to walk out of our office smiling on their own accord. So it's
So Style by Carla says that she was a previous patient and it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I had the
procedure.
Right?
Okay.
I had the procedure too.
Yeah, and it was uncomfortable, but was it worth it? Absolutely, it was worth it. I tell everybody, in the span of a couple of hours, we can change your entire body. If you allow us, if your body tolerates it, and you let us go to work, we can totally change everything about what you don't like, the problem areas. So is that worth it to you? I don't know. If it's not, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't.
Right.
I'm sorry that it hurt. It's not pain-free, but I'm telling you right now, we've had patients that have they didn't even crack a frown. They stayed in a perpetual smile the entire time. So, I don't know.
So here's my thought. Is we're trying to get the people that are really ready for transformation, and if it's worth it to you to change your life and live a healthier lifestyle, and you're willing to do whatever is necessary to get that, then the fear of discomfort will take a back seat to your goal. So this is going to get you to your goal significantly faster. I hate when people use the word like it's a cheat, because it's not a cheat. This is an enhancement. This is pushing you forward. It's like a leap forward, and this will give you the opportunity to cut off some of the time that it would take in order for you to get the results that you're looking for. And in many cases, there's no way you would be able to reach these results just because your natural body shape, we're able to change that by removing the fat. And we do this all while you're awake. It's incredible that this is even possible.
So, I mean, any of our girls that have had the procedure that absolutely had a very comfortable procedure, jump on there and comment. I know, one that I can think of, Alpha, goodness gracious, she was what? She's in her 6th decade, 4th or 5th.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she's like in the 50s, and
she just had her 2nd procedure,
yeah,
and I just heard she was trying to put down her deposit for a 3rd procedure.
Yeah, she rocked it. So, and then on the other side, we've had a couple of younger demographics that just absolutely, when I injected the needle to create the holes, they were just completely off the table, and it took a little while to walk, to get through that anxiety and understand it for what it was. And so, yeah, I mean,
it feels weird. Like, so I had mine almost 15 years ago, but I remember,
mm-hmm.
and it feels weird. In the getting the numbing medication in there, it felt like a pinching sensation, and it's bizarre, and it kind of like a burning sensation. But then when it goes numb, you don't feel a whole lot. Now, since you're awake, you still have sensation elsewhere on your body, just not in the area that we're treating. So what that means is that with the movement, you're going to feel the movement elsewhere in your body. And so mentally in your head, this is where the problem comes in, is mentally in your head, you start thinking up ideas of what's going on. And so a lot of these people create the fear, and they create this story that something bad is happening, and it freaks them out. So if you're able to stay calm and breathe, in many cases, you can push through this, and it's not as big of a deal. And if you do feel the pain, that's where we just add more numbing medication.
So Carla, she said that she would, if we had changed the way we, the anesthesia or whatever, she'd come back. Listen, bottom line is, we have evolved. Okay, I initially was with Trevor about 5 years ago, and I came back, about 6 or 7 months ago, I guess March, whatever. Anyway, we started pushing the envelope as far as, what was medically acceptable for anesthesia and the anesthesia levels. And so we've gotten, really, really good at making sure that all of the areas are taken care of and that your experience is a lot better. That's just part of our evolution as medical practitioners. And, we've found that if we push that envelope and get right to where the recommended dose is, or the max dose is, or close to it, and we take it out really, really quick, you have less effects as far as the lidocaine toxicity, and you're able to go home and recuperate very well. So yes, do we change the actual anesthesia? No, but it's
techniques.
Have we changed our technique and the way that we treat? Absolutely. Why? Because we're constantly evolving as human beings. We're constantly evolving as practitioners, and we're getting, we continue to get better every day. So we do a lot of procedures, and I don't know very many medical providers that do 4, 5, 6 procedures in a day. I mean, that's just what we do. We work. We like to work.
I think it's a good point to just let people know that we are constantly improving. So whatever issues you may have, seen in our channels, people having whatever problems they're having, it's not a bad thing. These things happen no matter where you go. And so if you want to go to go somewhere where no bad things happen, they're just not doing that many procedures, because when you do as many procedures as we do, it's inevitable that something's going to happen. So from our standpoint, we're gaining more experience, and we're learning from each of these experiences. So the hope is that because it happened elsewhere, that sacrifice has now taught us a lesson, so then now you won't have the same problem. Right? So that person sacrificed and had the problem, and now we learn from it. And this is the story that you may have heard elsewhere in the Bible, perhaps. Jesus gave himself so for the benefit of the rest of us, and this is how we learn. And if we can't learn from everything, then what are we doing?
So another thing, another little insight on that is as well. A lot of our patients that have come back and gotten 2, 3, 4 procedures, they've commented on, oh, well, that procedure wasn't as bad as that one. So different areas in the body
It's totally different.
have different sensations, and they say, I've never had it done, but they say the inside of your knee when you do liposuction, that is the most painful anywhere.
That's just one person.
But that's some guys.
I've done
that's some
so many
guys,
of these procedures. I'm telling you, there's no consistent anything.
There really isn't.
There's no
There
consistent
isn't.
anything.
So yeah, doing the front of the abdomen on one patient, probably maybe it was just absolutely a dream, and then they come back and they do their left handle hips and lower back, and it was difficult to get through, and then they come back and they do their bra rolls, and that was easy. So there's no rhyme or reason to this. There really isn't.
Don't think just because you had one experience a certain way that it's going to be that way again. It just doesn't. It's just unfortunately, it's not that way. It's different, and it's hard for us to create rules for us to work by and to improve when there is no real consistencies.
So Chanel, heard you didn't stop when told somebody was in pain. Is that true? Listen, we are going to work as hard as you can, what your body will allow us. Okay. So if you're completely uncomfortable and you don't, you want to stop, I've never had anybody stop. Have you?
Oh man, over the years I've had all kinds of crazy stuff. It's really, I feel so bad for these people because it's every time it's been a psychological issue.
Yeah. And the bottom line is we're in this together. If you do your part and you can control the anxiety, we can do our part and we can sculpt you and make you look amazing. So, I don't know.
Funny question here. Octavia says that she has permanent waist beads. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I think it's those beads that kind of keeps you accountable. So if you're gaining any weight, I think that's what it is. And does that need to be removed? So as long as you can get it out of our way, I'm really flexible. I don't even force people to take off their underwear or bra. If I can work around it, I'm cool with that. But if it gets in the way, we do what we need to do. It's better to get good results and sacrifice something like that.
So, pretty girl, 14. How many liters can you take out? I don't know. What is your body? What's safe for your body? It just depends on, what your body looks like. I know in some states they have laws.
This is the person. See, this is who we're trying to talk to. The people that are worried about how much fat we're going to get out. That's who we want to talk to. These are the people. This is the kind of results that we're getting from people like you. The people that are worried about the BMI, worried about us being aggressive. These are the people that we're changing their lives. So hurry up, get your consultation, and take advantage of this situation because this is going to change your life. And I want to help as many people as possible that are right on that cusp of I'm so fucking sick of this belly. I want to change everything in my life. If you're right at that point, then this is just pushing you over the edge, hopefully, and we can help change your life. And it's like sometimes you got to be kicked in the ass to move forward in life, right? Sometimes you get stuck and you tried diet, you tried exercise, you tried all kinds of stuff, and you got up, you got down, you got all roller coaster. I did that for many years in my life. Mm-hmm. And at some point, you're just like, I'm so sick of this shit, and I'm changing now. And you have to change. You actually have to change. And this is one thing that it gets you financially committed to it. And you're financially committed. It's expensive. It's not cheap, and it's a big deal. And commitment of time and effort. And so when you do that, it's like you've invested in yourself, and now you have to protect that investment.
Yeah.
And that's I think that the secret sauce to what makes this work for a lot of people.
Absolutely. We got another comment talking about how uncomfortable it was. Listen, bottom line is I tell everybody whenever you come in, I show you a picture. I worked on my wife, okay? And I didn't give my wife any heads up whatsoever. I got a new machine in and I said, come on, let's go use it. And she goes, we didn't talk about this. And I said, yeah, I know, but trust me, you're gonna like it. And so she was on the table. She had no expectation. She had anxiety because this was, is a surgical procedure. I worked on her. There were times when it was very awkward, me being her husband, she being my wife, she's on the table. It's uncomfortable sometimes. And she looked at me a couple of times and said, hey, can you just, it's a little uncomfortable. Okay, no big deal. Let's adjust. We repositioned it, went in a different direction, add more medication. And now, she's super happy with it. Why is she super happy with it? Because I can get results like this. Trevor can get results like this. So bottom line is, if this is something that you're looking for, then come to us, okay? If not, then go to somebody that puts you under general anesthesia and quite possibly, you can just go to sleep and have whatever you want done. The bottom line is, this is the safest bet. This is the safest procedure. Nobody's died from tumescent liposuction. And the bigger patients that are getting turned down by those guys that offer that, that's the ones that we can work on, because we get very aggressive. We can do this procedure in a short amount of time. Your body tolerates it. You're home, you're relaxing, you're recuperating, and it's just safer. So if that's what you're looking for, I tell everybody, I did my wife and we're still married. Trevor did his wife, they're still married. Yeah, is it uncomfortable? Yeah, there's times that it's uncomfortable, but do the results speak for themselves? Absolutely.
You know, another thing that I've heard of patients that do choose to get the general anesthesia, the problems that they've had is that, one, you don't know what they actually do to you. And so I've had quite a few patients that they didn't get what they paid for, and or they didn't get enough fat removed. And so when you're awake, you're literally watching the fat go out of your body. You're literally watching your belly get smaller. Like it visually happens right in front of you, and you can look right next to you and see how much, like, it's a massive amount of fat that we get out of you. It has to change. You have to get smaller. It's pure physics. So being awake, you're able to see these things. When you go to sleep, you don't see it. And so those of you who, like, some of your fear comes from control, this will give you the ability to be awake and control the situation where you can actually see what's going on. And in some cases that kind of will ease your mind a little bit. But ultimately, it's just you have to figure out a way to make it worthwhile to you. And if the results, if you want this bad enough, then anything is possible, and you'll do whatever is necessary to get that. And if that means that you have to go pay extra to get general anesthesia, then that's what you do. And that's, and I'm not, it is what it is. We don't need to work with that person. We need to work with people that are ready to change your life the way that we want to do it. And that's cool. Maybe we're the people that help transform you. Maybe we're not.
Yeah. So another question is, do I have to get a consultation to do a chin lipo? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we're on the same page and communication is open all of the time, because we want you to have an amazing experience. We want to address what your issues are and make sure that we give you what you're looking for. This is a team effort. This is not just you show up at a random spot, you've never met the surgeon, you've never met the provider, and they walk you into the room and all you've talked to is the surgical coordinator, and they put you in the room, and then the surgeons, you go out, the anesthesia guy puts you out, the anesthesiologist, the surgeon comes in, does his work, and you never see him. This is not one of those. We have a very open dialogue. We have an open discourse. We understand what your thoughts are, what your desires are, what your aspirations are, and we tell you what we can do, and we work together. So if that's something that you're interested in, then come on to us. Schedule a consultation. If not, there's a lot of places out there that will do it the other way.
Okay, Alita says, does it matter if I am a patient with high blood pressure? Can I do the lipo? So the high blood pressure, as long as it's controlled, so you take medication that controls the blood pressure. We also have the ability to give you blood pressure medication the day of the procedure if necessary. But ultimately, it just needs to be controlled. So that's part of our process in qualifying you as a patient prior. We get some labs, and if necessary, we'll recommend that you get clearance from a treating physician if you have someone. Yeah, I mean, it's when these patients are put to sleep, I can't tell you how many times I've had patients that are like, they're coming to get the same area redone because they just didn't get the results, and their experience has been the same every time. The person says, I was asleep, I came out, I was groggy, I don't remember any of the stuff. I never saw how much fat they removed. From the day after the procedure, I was never happy because there wasn't enough fat removed. And the doctor said, "Oh, don't worry, it's going to take 6 months, and you'll see the results." So then they just keep kicking the can down the road, and they never see results. So then now, whatever you paid, now you have to go pay again to get it fixed. Yeah. And it sucks. It is, nobody wants to do that. I promise you, nobody wants to do that. Even if you go, you get it done in Mexico or Colombia for $3 or $4 grand, you certainly don't want to have to pay again to get that redone, but it happens all the time. And the only way to avoid that happening is to go with people that are trusted, that have a consistent track record of getting the results. And even that, there's a possibility that the results don't turn out the way it's expected.
Listen, and in addition to that has accountability, right? So if you find someplace down in Mexico or Colombia or Dominican Republic and you feel safe going down there, then fine, no big deal. But what we do is we practice medicine within the standards of the United States, okay? And I don't mean to sound like pompous or anything, but they're very strict standards, and we're held to a certain level. And so when you come into our facility, we adhere to all of the current medical standards and the guidelines, and we make sure that this is a safe procedure for you. Oftentimes, we've all heard that story about that one person that went down there unassumingly, and that particular surgeon had some sort of problem and whatever, and there was a bad outcome, and you can't really get any other additional history from that. So, I mean, if that's what you want to do, then great. But I'm telling you right now, we adhere to all of the current medical standards, and we make sure that this is safe for you. It does nobody any bit of good to not be able to wake up the next morning, and so we want to make sure that this is safe for you. Okay?
Stacy has had 3 procedures, and then she's coming back for her 4th procedure. She says that all you feel is pressure and not pain. So, look, this is the thing that I think that people are missing, is that we're trying to describe a sensation of feeling with words. And it's not a direct translation. So when one person says pain, that pain to that one person is actually different than the pain to the other person in the interpretation of what that means. So everybody interprets the sensations that they feel differently than you try to put it into words. I personally, I have a really hard time putting what I felt into words, because you just can't do that. Now, the problem becomes when people freak out. So the problem is that if you freak out and then in your mind starts telling you, I can't do this anymore, and then that's when you're going to want to quit. So the ability to control the mind will be able to allow you to get through these type of processes. And not only that, the ability to control your mind will allow you to get through processes like working out, because when it burns, you have to be able to push through that as well. It's painful. To get what you want is not easy, and it's gonna take some type of sacrifice. Whether that's time, that's money, that's effort. It's gonna be some type of sacrifice to get whatever you want.
Aisha, you're listening from Philadelphia. Glad you're on. Listen, we are coming up on the hour mark, and I don't know, probably gonna have to cut out soon. No more questions, but listen, if you guys are motivated and you're ready to change some things, please, give our office a call and, submit your photos. Jump on the website, MyShape Lipo website. Jump on the support group on Facebook, MyShape Lipo support group. Converse with a lot of our previous clients. You can take a look at all of our results. You have real-time access to people that have done it. Are people's results going to be different all the way across the board? Absolutely. Is our experience going to be across the board? We're trying to make sure that everybody gets the best results ever and has the best experience. And, not a whole lot of medical clinics can actually say that. So,
Octavia says, I can handle pain as long as it's not tooth pain.
That's miserable, Octavia.
I've never had that, but it sounds
Holy
bad.
smokes. You've never had a dental abscess that's gotten out of control?
Nope.
And you can't get into the dentist for like 2 days?
Oh.
Oh, it's miserable. So anyway,
So
okay.
when you guys are ready, so just the clarification here, what we're offering is 20% off for the front of the abdomen. And so what that's going to mean is the area, so just below your breast line. Now, how wide we go on the sides is typically when you put your arm down by the side and you draw a line down here, it's going to bisect on the side. That's about how wide we go. It's also, the goal is to get rid of that fold. So on this individual here, we would go further than the fold. So those of you who have that fold that comes all the way back to the sides here, that's about how wide we go, because our goal is to get rid of that fold in the front. So if you have this big belly, or anybody that has this big belly and they're looking to get rid of it, and it's not even that, maybe they don't even know that this is possible. And so you could be the savior, you could be the person that will change their life. I mean, it's part of their process, right? Part of their story, in that we can give them the ability to change your life, and you can be part of it. And that's why it's so cool that once you've had this done, you can share that experience and share that knowledge with other people and help them get the same type of transformation. So when you're ready, the next step is you got to get that consultation. It's a paid consultation. The link's up in the profile for Instagram and Facebook. On Facebook, it's up in the post there as well. You can go to our website to get that. 20% off. The deposit has to be placed before the end of this month. So you got this whole month. This is the first day we're announcing this. So thank you for watching, and make sure that you share this with your friends and family. Tag your friends and family. Give them a private message. Turn them on to this situation here, so they can, at least point them in our direction, so they can get more information and see what we are doing. Because it's really, we've been able to change the lives of so many people, and this is so consistent now. We want to share it with as many people as possible. So please help us. Okay.
And make sure you reach out to all of your friends that have been discriminated against in those other offices. Let them know that that's what we specialize in. We remove fat.
No tummy tucks.
Yeah, no tummy tucks.
tummy tucks.
We make people look good through liposuction.
All right, guys. We will be back later this week. Hope you had a great day, and take advantage of this 20% off. Get rid of that belly.